Look, I know it's been an absolute shocker of a year. I know there's only a couple of weeks left in it, so let's forget the year that was. Tonight is the night that you come together as an industry. You don't need an excuse as an industry to let your hair down. I know, I've done enough of these events to know that. So tonight's the night to put 2020 to rest and have a good evening. Tonight, we're celebrating your creativity. Tonight, we celebrate the forward thinking of you, the people, the projects, and the teams that really have shone in the last 12 months. Talking of creativity, a lot of people have already mentioned the Perspex dividers. Now, I'm not sure if there's one of the companies out there that have benefited from a huge contract from the JW Marriott Marquis. But just to explain these Perspex screenings, they've been put in place by the JW Marriott Marquis to allow you to sit on your tables with more than 4 people. Now, if these Perspex screens were not here, you'd be limited to 4 people. And believe me, I've done that. You can't hear a word anyone's saying on that table. So for you to enjoy an evening with your friends, with your colleagues, in the safety and the security, as sanctioned by our friends and our partners at the DTCM, as approved by all the health and regulatory authorities here, and of course, at the expense of our friends and the hosts down here at the JW Marriott Marquis. Can we just have a little round of applause, a little appreciation for all the efforts that have been put in place to keep you safe here tonight. Thank you very much indeed. And please, whatever you do, this is the first time we've tried it. If somebody walks into it like they do one of those French windows or something like that a little later on and knocks them all down like a row of dominoes, we are doomed, okay? So please, whatever you do, and however late it gets, and however tired and emotional you get, do not knock over the Perspex dividers, okay? Because you won't be just ruining it for us tonight, you'll be ruining it for the entire events industry for the next 3 years. So it's on your shoulders. What else have we got for you tonight? Celebration aplenty. Why are we here? 2020 has been a different and challenging year. But there's still been plenty to shout about within the industry. We received literally hundreds of nominations this year, 17 categories representing all kinds of commercial interiors, as well as the people behind them. Basically, you behind those dividers. Judging panel includes 8 experts, that's right, 8 experts based around the world. We'd like to thank them for their commitment and bringing a real depth of experience to the judging process this year, which this year took place for the first time virtually while travel restrictions were in place. We'd also like to thank all of our sponsors, both old friends and a few new that we've convinced to come on board this year, for supporting the industry, for supporting the event in rather challenging times, making an event like this, making tonight happen. It is an absolute blessing that we are here live under one roof together, because for all intents and purposes, a few months ago, hell, even a few weeks ago, it looked like that would not be possible this year. So well done to all the efforts of those that have worked tirelessly to get us here under one roof. But before we get to that, a bit of housekeeping for you. We have to start the housekeeping about 10 minutes early. Why? Because there's about 15 pages of housekeeping in the COVID era, with good reason as well. We are here to keep you safe and secure, and then to that end, we need you to toe the company line, if that's all right. We need you to do your bit. Okay, the regular housekeeping you will know the majority of. Not your first rodeo, not mine. We've all been there before. Mobile phones to silent, if you've brought them at all. If you are highly commended, stand up for a bow. Do not come to the stage. More of that a little later on. There are, however, some important new rules that we must make sure that each and every one of us navigate in order to ensure that the event is not closed down during proceedings, and in order to ensure that future events take place. So, if I could please just have your attention for 2 seconds for our COVID-19 safety protocols. The safety of each and every one of you is primary importance to us. As you came into the venue, you will have walked through our sanitisation pod at the entrance. That one is courtesy of our friends and sponsors at BIA, who have provided that one for us this evening. You may well have also noticed that we have no shortage of touchless sanitiser stations around the venue, as well as the social distancing markers on the floor. They are not there for show. They are there to be utilised and used. So please, sanitize as much as you can throughout proceedings. Use those sanitizing stations. And of course, please, your social distancing is imperative. Why? Not because only we are imploring that you social distance. We are being watched. We are being monitored. You are being monitored. We're being monitored. Please, please, please. We don't want to get all Big Brother. We don't want to get all sort of monitors and prefects on you. But if you can do your bit, if you can keep your social distancing, then that means we'll get the thumbs up to continue and, of course, to have future events as well. We can all have fun, just social distanced fun. Some other important steps we need to follow when it comes to preparing and collecting awards themselves. That is even more complicated. We'll explain those creatively a little later on in proceedings. Finally, if you haven't done so yet, you can scan the QR code on your name card. Name card is in front of you. Hopefully it's your name on that name card to find out what's on the menu tonight. And if last night was anything to go by, you are in for an absolute belter. A number of people saying last night was the best food they had ever had in Dubai. No word of a lie. Award ceremony last night brought to you by ITP Media Group. Several people contacted me today saying the food last night, the best they'd ever had in Dubai. So either you're in for an absolute belter, or it could be the steep side of that curve at the moment. So we'll wait and see. Enjoy nonetheless. Right, eyes to the screen. Just a quick one as well. If you are going off to see colleagues at different tables, if you are venturing out of your pod, if you are venturing out of your bubble, if you are venturing behind the Perspex dividers, face masks, please. Face masks at all times if you are venturing out and about. If you're sat at your table, absolutely no problem at all. Feel free to remove that face mask. But again, please, please, face mask, social distancing, sanitisation as well. Right, Tom, enough from you. Eyes to the screen, please, because we are going all virtual for you this year. Virtual judging, as promised. Equally, a lot of people saying, OK, Tom, enough about you talking about face masks. Why haven't you got one on? Ain't no one coming near this podium tonight. We have got a security force around it. This is my podium. These are my microphones. No one else is going to be using those. And to that end, to make sure that we keep that sanitisation up here on stage, we have gone virtual with a number of our speeches here tonight. So, to hear from the editor of Commercial Interior Design, CID, please turn your eyes to the big screen as we call upon the one and only Jane O'Neill.
Good evening. On behalf of Commercial Interior Design and ITP Media Group, thank you so much for joining us all here tonight at the 14th Annual Commercial Interior Design Awards. I'm delighted to be here speaking to you all after joining Commercial Interior Design just before the world became a much more challenging place. That you're all here tonight is a testament to how well the interior design industry has overcome the enormous hurdles of the past 12 months. Thank you all for your incredible hard work. Thank you for being here to celebrate your peers, and thank you for doing it all while following the essential social distancing guidelines. We know you guys know how to let loose. Tonight we just ask that you keep your hands inside the ride at all times. And of course, a huge thank you to all the partners and sponsors, without whom nights like this just wouldn't be possible. Creativity, innovation and collaboration became industry buzzwords this year. It was inspiring to watch the design scene not just survive but thrive during very disruptive times. And we didn't just sit back and watch. In 2020, we too seized the opportunity to redesign the Commercial Interior Design brand. Like many of you, we innovated. Like many of you, we tried new approaches. And like many of you, we had some big successes and some steep learning curves. That's just one more thing for us to celebrate tonight as we reward the creativity of the interior designers, to the fit-out firms who make projects possible, and the suppliers supporting it all. The talent and ability showcased here places our region alongside the best in the world. If you believe you can, then you're halfway there. And we believe the interior even higher. We'll be with you every step of the way.